Hi, and welcome to Oxidize.
Thank you.
So, what's your name and which company do you work for?
So my name is Peter Kilonzo Jr. I currently work in Atlanta, Georgia for a company called Luna Innovations.
All right, cool. And what's your position in the company?
I'm a software engineer over there.
All right. What brings you to Oxidize, and especially here in Berlin?
So I have a history as a C++ developer. C++ has been a big part of my career. Actually, the first language I learned, kind of what brought me into programming in the first place. And Rust has, for a long time, kind of been a boogeyman in the C++ community. So rather than, I think, hide from it, I wanted to learn more about it. So specifically, I currently work in the embedded sphere, which Rust has a lot of potential for, but not only just in the embedded sphere. I think Rust has a lot of applications across a whole bunch of different software development tasks and potential applications that could make software better for people. So once I saw Oxidize, it's the Applied Rust conference. I wanted to get a conference where I can maybe get my hands a little bit dirty. I attended one of the conferences, or workshop conferences, I should say, and had a lot of fun learning about Rust in a practical manner. And attending talks has been great to see people kind of apply Rust hands-on, so that I could take some of this information back and maybe use it in work, use it for personal projects, use it for growth. It's been a great time.
All right, very interesting. So, you came all the way here from the USA, as you mentioned. Is the Rust scene in the USA any different compared to the European Rust scene?
I will say I've been really interested and really impressed, I should say, with the Rust scene in Europe. Specifically, I've noticed that a ton of Rust conferences seem to take place in Europe. Oxidize, of course, being one of them, but I think there's a couple others this year that have been in places like the Netherlands and Zurich, for instance. It seems like there's a lot of excitement and, I should say, ability to kind of push the envelope and maybe take a leap from a language such as C and C++ to Rust. I think I see it a lot out here, and I wanted to come in and take part in the community. I know there's a lot of companies doing exciting work, Ferris being one of them, and they all seem to kind of have this hub in Europe. So coming to Europe, I think was a good choice to kind of learn about Rust. I got to learn about the ecosystem from engineers from a bunch of different places, from the U.S., from Germany. I've met someone from Greek. I've met people from Greece, from all over the place. So it seems like the ecosystem out here is vibrant and lively. In the United States, that's not to say that there isn't a Rust community. It's maybe just a little bit harder to find. So I've had a lot of fun and a lot of ease finding it out here, I should say.
That's very interesting to hear. So, would you reckon an Oxidize US version would be successful then?
So, coming from my perspective, I would say that I've learned a ton, and I think there is a lot of good information that came out of this conference. I think there's a lot of companies in the US also that work in similar spheres, or spheres that could definitely use a lot of this information to make better products, make new products, refactor old code, whatever that may be. And I think a conference like Oxidize in the US could offer a lot of benefits to a lot of companies out there. Not even just companies, people. I think for a language to really take hold, it kind of has to have a couple, it has to be multifaceted. It's not just adoption at necessarily an industry level. It's maybe academics doing more research in it. It's students wanting to learn it while they're in college. It's hobbyists wanting to use it for their programs. So I think more conferences like Oxidize and others that maybe come to the US can offer a lot of people who may not necessarily have the exposure to it a lot of information and excitement into adopting Rust into whatever they may be doing.